Happy weekend. How's your weekend coming along? I trust you had a lot of fun yesterday, like I did. It's time for our second video in the month of May. And this month, like I said yesterday, we're talking about dealing with debt. And today, I already mentioned we would look at good debts and bad debts. But before we go into that, let's talk briefly. Yes, for those wondering about my dressing, I think it's going to be a red and black and red or red and black month. It's the nail polish that is dictating the colors, don't worry. But I'll try to stay serious throughout and not go flashy the way I've gone flashy with the nails. So talking about debts, different kind of things can cause you to have to deal with debts. Now, yesterday I was highlighting the different kind of people that need to understand how to deal with debt. And I forgot to mention salary earners who run out of their salary as soon as it's paid. Some have to borrow to bridge the gap between one payday and the next payday. Others just can't even explain where their money is going. Others have a lifestyle that makes the money they earn is unsustainable. They have a lifestyle that cannot be sustained by the money they earn. Now, talking about that, I've already started going into the reasons why people owe a grand lifestyle that they're not making enough money to sustain, or just simply insufficient income. The money you're making is just not enough to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be or where you ought to be. Sometimes there are emergencies that happen, things you didn't plan for, like your car breaks down and then you have to get money from anywhere to fix it because you can't move ahead without it. The peculiar issue I had in the last week was that the CPU in the office just stopped coming on, and somehow I did not configure my laptop to use the printer and I can't find the driver. I was unable to download it, and so I had to make sure that I fixed and reinstalled. And all these technological things cost some money. You need to buy some new equipment. It was not in the budget, and the income and the budget have matched themselves to the letter, and there's no emergency fund. Sometimes this could lead you to borrow to bridge the gap. Another thing is I've met a few people that the reason why they need to borrow is because they give too much. The milk of human kindness is overflowing in them, and then for every person that has a need, they forget their own need and move out. I remember talking somewhere, I think that was in the month of January, and a young man mentioned that sometimes he would have given out all the money on him and he would no longer have money to get himself home from work. Now that is on that day. He'll probably not even have money to go to work and come back for the rest of the month because it's been so full of human feeling, human kindness, that first of all, when he got his money, he settled his parents, settled his friends, and then the people in the office are hungry, he bought food for them. So too much giving can also put you in dire straits such that you would need to borrow to bridge the gap. When is a debt good and when is it not good? Well, my standard answer to this question is that if you create a debt to acquire a liability or to fund a lifestyle or to meet your wants and not your needs, it is a bad debt. Now, liability and assets, I think it was when I was talking with Perpetua on her YouTube channel that I mentioned that sometimes a car could be an asset and it could also be a liability. Whatever it is that is adding money to your pocket or adding value to your life is an asset, something that is helping you generate wealth. So knowing whether a debt is good or bad is dependent actually on what that debt is for. When you're funding a business for the purpose of generating money, that debt might not be a bad debt, except of course it's coming at a cost that is higher than the profit you will generate with the business you want to run with it. But as I was saying about the car, if you buy a car for the sake of luxury, for the sake of comfort, and what that car is saving you, in terms of time, is not, you're not going to be able to make more money with that time when you have the car might be a liability, especially since maintenance of the car is going to cost you money. You're going to have to fuel it. You're going to have to service it from time to time. It's going to continue taking money away from you, except you're using that car to generate money that is coming to you in excess of the money is taken away from you. That car might be a liability. Now, what are the ways in which you can use a car to generate money? Hey, there's Uber. For many bank officials who get to work and park their car in the parking lot, I don't know why they spend so much money buying the car. If they cannot let the car while they are at work generate some money from them, that's an idea I think everybody ought to explore, especially when they park their cars for long spells of time. Anyway, the foundation for determining whether the debt is good or bad is the purpose of the loan. The purpose of the loan must be to generate income, to create wealth or value that would generate income ultimately. Then it's a good debt. But if it is to finance a lifestyle, if it is for Ashwebi, if it's for the hairstyle that's in vogue, if it's to keep up with the Joneses because all your friends are doing this and you want to do it, then you need to think about it. It's not something to borrow for. Inordinate spending, not being able to differentiate between what you need and what you want, could get you into debt. But not to worry, from tomorrow we'll begin to talk about the different steps you need to take to actually deal with that debt and get it out of your life for good. So we'll continue from here tomorrow. See you then. Bye.